Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you are here, either right now in person or those of you that will catch this on the replay. Welcome to this beautiful Tuesday morning. And I'm so excited to be here with you. And I have to tell you, it has been, oh my goodness, many moons, it feels like, since the last time I did um, a YouTube live. And I know it's probably been 6 months or just little over that, but goodness gracious, it feels longer than that. But having said that, I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering why I'm not even on here. And to not go into a long introduction, let me just go ahead and get started. Listen, I'm sure you guys have heard about Hurricane Helene. And let me tell you, as someone that has lived through that, I have a newfound perspective, a newfound understanding that I have recently just experienced. And more than anything, my heart is still with those that are dealing with the after effects and consequences of this devastating storm. So, this is me coming here and other platforms. I just did an Instagram live post. And so I wanted to share something on YouTube as well. But I know that what I'm going to share can be used in many different ways, facets, areas of life, and not just, um, exclusive to helping survivors right now better navigate life. So, um, the title of what I'm giving this live is Getting Through What You're Going Through. That is getting through what you're going through. And I want you to keep that in mind as I talk about this, because even though this is primarily um, for individuals that are currently struggling with the after effects of this hurricane, truly it can be used in whatever situation or circumstance. When you think about things that we go through that are just really emotionally devastating, right? And that doesn't always come in the form of a hurricane. It can come in the form of some type of significant loss or just catastrophic event that goes on in your life. So I know that as a big hearted person myself, I had to learn. It took me years to learn a lot of the things that I share with you all. And one of the things that I want to come to you and share with you is when you are in the middle of something that's devastating, sometimes all your learning and your understanding and your knowledge goes out of the window because your emotions are so heightened. Your fear or your insecurities or doubts are screaming at you that, sometimes common sense just goes out the window. Logic and reason. That's when your amygdala gets hijacked and you just say, look, I can't even make an intelligent decision. Like, how many times have you noticed someone um, that you consider to be, reasonably smart and with it and together, and they just go and make the craziest or dumbest decision that is really counterintuitive to their growth or their healing? And you go, what were you thinking? Well, chances are they're not, because you can really tell when a person is in a state of fear or panic. And they just make decisions that are really not in their best interests. Usually in those moments, this is why I always share with you guys compassion and love are two of the most critical basic skills that we need in this day and time, because it really helps not only for us to navigate the life that we're living, but the more we give it to ourselves, the more we're able to give it to other people. And it doesn't have to be this orchestrated attempt. It just you begin to do it naturally, as you're doing it for yourself. It becomes second nature, right? So it's a muscle that you train, it's a muscle that you just have to work and make sure that you are first doing it for yourself and being that for yourself. Now, many of you may ask, what does that look like? So, really, I teach people how to be mindful of your speech towards yourself. We grew up in my household learning that there was power, life or death, in the power of the tongue, right? And I know I butchered that verse up, but I think you get the message. So this is so fundamentally true. The words that you're speaking, they cast spells over how you're coloring or you are realizing your world. And if you keep telling yourself, oh, I'm just going to do this, well, don't be surprised when you just get this. But you know, in your heart of hearts, you're asking and you're wanting for much, much more. So you really need to be mindful of the words that you're speaking over your life. Are you kind to yourself? Are you forgiving of yourself when you fall short of whatever expectations you may have? When you are kind in your speech and you acknowledge, hey, I messed that up. That really didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Okay. But when you talk yourself in a compassionate way, like, but I remember doing this, and even though it didn't work out, I remember doing something that just really set my soul on fire. Maybe I can just go tweak some things a little bit and make another attempt. Instead of saying, you idiot, how dare you do that? What did you think you were going to do? Did you really think you were going to be successful? Now, in the two examples I just gave you, which one is more empowering and which one was disempowering? But we do this to ourselves without even really being cognizant of it. So I want to make sure that you know to be mindful of your speech. Compassionate speech, compassionate listening to others. When people give you compliments or let you know how you rose to an occasion or how you helped them, take that information in. Welcome it in. That's good stuff. We are so quick to take in all the negative crap that comes at us, but we will argue blessings away. We will argue away people that give us compliments. Come on, big heart people. We got to do better. We know we're big hearted people. Part of the reason why we get in trouble is because we haven't learned how to fully use that big heart that not only serves other people, but serve us as well. And that's okay. It's okay to be self-full because you want to make sure that you are as good to you as you are to other people. So this is why I wanted to come today and talk about two important things that are really near and dear to my heart. One, I want to make sure I give some useful information that as big heart people, we are making sure that we are giving to other people, but in a very responsible, loving, and compassionate way. Second, I want to make sure that whenever you find yourself in a state of disbelief, or I am just, in a crazy way where I feel devastated, how to better manage yourself. Because again, you want to make sure that you take care of yourself, take care of home, take care of that beautiful big heart of yours. Hey, Fatima. Oh, goodness. Thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate you. And I hope you and John are doing well and your other siblings. Thank you, friend. How's Canada these days? You guys doing okay? I hope you are. So first, we want to talk about being of service to other people, okay? Now, for me, this is something I talked about on my live just a few minutes ago. So I have some notes prepared. So when you see me looking down, I want to make sure I get this message out correctly. So as big heart people, the ones that love to be there and be of service, I've seen so many posts. I've seen so many, what can I say? People and their desires. Look, I got my lights back on, or I have extra. I want to help. Okay, how do you do that as a big heart person that doesn't make you feel overwhelmed or overburdened? So you want to make sure that you set clear boundaries. And when you set those clear boundaries, as you're sitting down to really talk to yourself, make sure that you're honest with yourself about what those boundaries are. You want to make sure that your desire to be of service to other people, your desire to help, that it doesn't cloud your abilities or your limitations. Because as much as I would love to get out there and help everybody that's still dealing with this horrible after effects of the hurricane, I know that I have limitations in resources. I have limitations in mental and emotional capacity. I even have limitations right now as far as physically, what I can and can't do. For example, I can't get out there and lift trees. I don't have any chainsaws. I can't cut up wood. I am not educated on how to handle power lines and so on and so forth. So I have to be honest with myself, take an honest examination, an inventory of what I have available that I'm willing to share. And in that, say, I can do this for this length of time, or I can do this for this amount of people. But just having that honest conversation about, I have this and I can share this. So make sure that as you big heart beauty, as you're sharing with other people, you're first setting clear, manageable boundaries. Now, the second thing you want to do is offer a compassionate listening ear. This is something that for many of us big heart people, we have no problem doing. We're always there, reaching out to people, just standing there. Our presence alone is soothing and calming for other people. And it doesn't cost us any money. But you want to be mindful that what it does cost us is emotional energy. You want to make sure that you are being mindful and being protective of your energy, your energetic space. So as you're giving a listening ear, make sure that that's all you're doing is giving a very compassionate and listening ear. And in that listening, take the opportunity when appropriate to give back to them nuggets of positive energy that they've spoken to you. Listen for the good that's going on that they share with you and try to feed it back to them at encouraging and appropriate moments. For example, anyone that's dealing with anything devastating, they'll tell you things like, before this, I was such a go-getter and things like this didn't slow me down. And I just don't know what's going on with me right now. Why can't I bounce back? And see, as a compassionate listener, you've taken all that in. You have been able to hear without judgment and without expectation. And so you can you can say back to them, I understand, that what you've been through is crazy. But just like before, when you've been able to bounce back, I know that you're going to bounce back, and you're going to bounce back with even more knowledge now because you've lived through something that has just really taught you some valuable lessons. That's so encouraging to hear. You're not coming in as the fixer, or you're not giving them false hope that you can take away their problems, but just being that compassionate ear and reminding them of the beautiful things about them as they share it with you. That goes a very long way. We all, as big hearted people, want to make sure that we leave people better than how we find them. And so, just doing simple things, going back to the basics. Most people, every person I've ever met, they just want to know you care. Really? I mean, when you're talking to people, you just want to know that the person you're speaking to, that they care, that they are really listening to you, and what you say to them matters. That's huge. And so when you can do that for other people, you really are casting a broad net, and you are really doing this sonic cosmic hug and saying, you matter to me. What's going on with you matters to me. And sometimes that is worth more than money itself. So making sure you set those clear boundaries and making sure that you be a compassionate ear, these are beautiful things. And the last thing you can do that will be helpful to people that are in a spot where they feel like they're just living through devastation is you can provide small but manageable doses of support. Let's go back to the first one. Make sure you set clear boundaries. You must know that you don't want to be overwhelmed in helping other people. So make sure you do check-ins. Check in with yourself, check in with people, take small breaks to recharge emotionally, mentally, and physically. But make sure that you help them to do those things and that you are doing them for yourself. You have an opportunity to be a great role model in that moment and to model wonderful, basic self care needs that doesn't cost them any money, that really makes a big, beautiful difference in the most craziest time and hard time of their life at the moment. And it's something they can implement right away. So, again, set clear boundaries for people. Make sure that you are a compassionate listening ear. And the third thing you can do is make sure you take your support and give it to others in small and manageable doses. I know that as big heart people, it's like, it's this thing of we just want to make sure that we are there for other people because we know and we remember what it was like when we were in need and we felt like we didn't have anybody to lean on. And we don't want anybody else to ever feel that way on our watch, right? That's just the beauty of us. But we want to make sure that that beauty doesn't overtake us or overwhelm us, and that we make sure that we check in with ourselves and make sure that we are having an honest conversation. So this goes into the next part of what I want to share with you guys. And that is, as the big heart beauty, how do we take care of ourselves? How do we give and not give over everything or too much of ourselves in the process, right? So here's the thing. The first step for us to do is to acknowledge our emotions and acknowledge our feelings. Please, 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 whatever you're feeling, do not gaslight yourself. Do not discount yourself. And make sure that you acknowledge it and accept it. If it's rage, anger, fear, disappointment, if you're scared, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You know what's crazy? Even if you're happy and grateful, just make sure you allow yourself to feel the feelings and allow it to go through you and use it in a way that's productive for you. Now, a lot of people can journal. If you can find paper and pencil, I don't know how extensive your circumstances are, but if you're able to do that, then that would be good. Also, making sure that you, if you have somebody around you that you feel safe with, because not only sometimes are you dealing with the present situation like hurricane relief, there are a lot of things that this hurricane brings up that you didn't even know was there, or you did, and it just makes it 100 times worse. So you want to make sure that there is somebody you can reach out to. And that is the number one reason why I have been posting across all my platforms. I'm here for you. I'm here to give you a helping hand. If you need someone to talk to, if you need someone to listen to you, I am here for you. Just email me at Shanita@IamFutureFocused.com. In the email, we will set up an appropriate time that works for the best of us. Right now, electricity and internet is unstable. So if this goes in and out, my apologies, but this is what we're dealing with. But I just want to make sure that there is somebody in all this that is saying, here is my hand to you, here is my shoulder, and here is my ear. All are at your disposal. Please let me know how I can best be of support to you, even if it's just to be a listening ear, okay? So don't discount your feelings. Make sure you acknowledge them and respect and honor them. The second thing is make sure that you are focusing on basic self-care needs. If you have water around you, make sure whatever food that is at your disposal, that you have that. Also, here are some things. Make sure that you open yourself up to breathing, being mindful of your breath, getting off to a space where you can have some quiet time and just focus on your breath and sit in silence. Focus on your chest rising, focus on your chest falling, and do this in a rhythmic pattern. And if your mind begins to wander, don't worry, just go back to that rhythmic pattern as your chest rises and falls. And concentrate on your breath. And as you do this for 1 minute, 2 minutes, you really are clearing out your energy that's really heavy. And it helps to release a lot of that energy that you're sitting with. And it'll release a lot of the fear and anxiety or disappointment that you are experiencing at the moment. And just remember, you can always go back to your breath whenever you need to. We talked about journaling earlier, making sure you do that. And let's see. And if you really want to be proactive, so to speak, I know that's not a good word, but if you just really want to really work out some energy, if you have the ability to put on some music and dance. The whole purpose of these examples and exercises is really to give you ideas on how to move that stagnant energy up and out of your body. You want to be able to make sure that you are doing good energy management practices. However it comes across for you, however you like to do it is perfect. But these are just some ideas that I have off the top of my head that I can share that helps you to be mindful of your energy that's not serving you and how to get it up and out of your body. Now, the last tip that I want to share is can make sure you're connecting to a safe and supportive network. There are so many organizations out there right now that are wanting to be of service to you, that are wanting to help you. Now, let's take that in a different arena. If you're not dealing with hurricane relief, there are many organizations out there that want to be of support to you, that want to be helpful to you. It may take some time and effort on your part to do some research to figure out what organization best fits your needs, but it's well worth that. And there is no reason that you deserve to suffer alone. There is a community of people that are always welcoming and affirming of your situation and that really want to help pull you out of everything that's going on with you and to give you hope that tomorrow could be the day where it gets better. Okay? So I just want to make sure that you know these 3 things. Acknowledge and validate your feelings, focus on basic self-care, and make sure that you connect yourself to a supportive and safe support network. This is what you can do. This is what I can do whenever we are in times that are dire or tough or just emotionally difficult. Now, as the big-hearted person that we always are and love to be, make sure that when you are supporting people, when you find yourself in the role of being a part of that supportive community, that you set clear boundaries for yourself, that you're offering a compassionate ear, and that you provide support in small and manageable doses. Make sure that you honor your humanity and the things that you need. Don't allow that to get lost in the business or the joy of serving other people. Don't let that big heart get you in a space where you feel overwhelmed or overburdened, because there are a lot of news reports, I'm sure. I don't watch the news, so I'm not, but I'm pretty sure because I see it sometimes on my devices. But make sure you're not ingesting too many of these heartfelt stories, that it's not coming through too much and you're clicking on it on your devices. just set a firm boundary with that. It's okay to stay informed, but don't inundate yourself with that. Okay? Make sure you're mindful of your emotional energy. You don't want to be stuck in a place where now you're so down you can't be there for yourself, be there for your family and friends. So make sure that you have everything you need. Yeah. Even if it's literally a bottle or two of water, peanut butter and crackers, whatever it is, there are people out here that love you, thinking about you, trying to organize for you, trying to help you in the best way possible. I'm proud to say that I'm one of those individuals, and I'm here for you if you need a listening ear. If I can offer you any other type of emotional support, please feel free to contact me at Shanita at IamFutureFocus.com. Let me know how I can help you. I will set up a time to talk with you and I will do what I can for you. Okay? We are going to get through this together. And even when people have recovered from Helene and life gets back to a sense of normalcy, I'm still always here for you. I'll still do whatever I can for you. But in the meantime, I know that I'm great at listening. I know that I'm great at guiding you through whatever your heart needs. And so let me do this freely for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Fatima, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you guys are okay. And thank you for the prayers and the love. I take them and I receive them. And I'm holding on tightly to them and paying it forward for others as people have been a blessing to me and my family through all this. So guess what? I love you guys and I hope to see you soon. And it's bye for now. Bye, guys.